Hey there, if you want to watch this and future videos, just support us by subscribing, liking and commenting. It really helps us out and, well, we'd love to have you along for the journey with Secrets of the Ancients. So, have they finally found Cleopatra's tomb?
A stunning discovery in Egypt.
In the heart of the desert, beneath the golden sands, archaeologists made a discovery that honestly shocked everyone. It all started early in the morning when a modern team of scientists, equipped with shovels, brushes and high-tech scanners, stumbled upon a thick, polished stone slab. As they carefully cleaned it, one of the workers accidentally loosened an edge, revealing a hidden entrance to an ancient underground tunnel. From the very first movement they heard a strange echo, like a breath from a forgotten age stirring beneath their feet. The team quickly switched on their powerful lamps, lighting up things that hadn't been seen in centuries. Inside the tunnel the air grew colder and ancient dust hung in the air like mist. The deeper they went, the more they realized they were entering something extraordinary. Eventually, they reached a massive ceiling that hid a mysterious chamber behind it. A faint metallic ringing echoed, hinting at treasure hidden out of sight. Using delicate tools to avoid damaging the fragile structure, they carefully removed layer after layer. After hours of painstaking work, the passage finally opened into a hall. Its walls were covered in gold leaf so thick they reflected the lantern light 100 times over. In the room were coffins, one of them especially grand and imposing. It was decorated with winged goddesses, and a highly stylized portrait of Cleopatra at its center. On the stone were hieroglyphic carvings unlike anything ever documented before. Among them, one name stood out clearly, Cleopatra, but written in an unusual style, almost like a student's script, completely different from what you'd see in textbooks.
Around it lay amulets and pottery bearing unknown symbols. With trembling hands, the researchers documented every detail, fully aware that this find could rewrite history. One inscription, clearly stating the Queen of the Two Lands, left no doubt about the connection to Cleopatra. Without wasting a moment, they carefully catalogued every treasure, making sure nothing was missed. They even noted images of priestess robes and silver coins found hidden in a cavity in the wall. One coin bore Cleopatra's familiar likeness, another had a symbol no one had yet deciphered, not even with modern technology. Remarkably, these coins were perfectly preserved, as if newly minted. The archaeologists marked every find in their digital system for further analysis.
Early scans of the sarcophagus suggested it wasn't just an ordinary burial. This place seemed to guard secrets that could forever change what we know about Egypt's last queen.
Behind one of the carvings, they found even more artifacts, deepening the mystery. The further they went, the tighter and more suffocating the passage became. They had to crouch low, steadying themselves against the gold-covered walls as they moved forward. Scratches on the stone lined up perfectly with the passage of time, like clock hands ticking through the centuries. Strange hieroglyphics appeared alongside celestial maps crafted from lapis lazuli and malachite. It was as if these ancient scholars had written in a secret language that no one today could read. The symbols grew even more bizarre. Tangled birds, mysterious masks, and strange light patterns their cameras captured. Some clay tablets bore markings that looked almost Phoenician, leaving the team puzzled. How could Cleopatra be connected to all this? In smaller chambers, they found objects wrapped up like ancient secret parcels, sealed with symbols that resembled fingerprints, possibly reserved for her inner circle. In one room was a strangely shaped bronze key inscribed with Greek letters meaning eternity. The passage eventually led to an archway lined with turquoise tiles and double carvings of a lion and an eagle, symbols not typical of Egyptian iconography.
Clearly, this labyrinth had never been explored, even by the most seasoned archaeologists.
The wall paintings were unusual too. Cleopatra was shown wearing a crown of the sun and crescent moon, holding a staff topped with a tiny scorpion statue, and standing beside baskets of pomegranates.
But what truly stunned the team were the rows of unfamiliar symbols that looked nothing like any known alphabet. They seemed to be a coded message left for future generations. It looked as though some of the golden surfaces had been periodically reworked or refreshed over time, a technique never seen in other tombs.
Under UV light, one scientist noticed strange drawings, including what appeared to be an ancient map of the Nile's banks, possibly pointing to hidden temples or archaeological sites.
Through a small hole in another wall, we entered a vaulted chamber. The air was, really heavy, and our lanterns cast this strange yellow glow through the mist.
In the centre, there stood a carved pedestal depicting a royal woman surrounded by figures from Egyptian, Greek, Roman and Nubian cultures. Around the base, we found a strip of mysterious symbols. Looked like a newly invented code or alphabet. Below that, there were scenes of solar boats, lunar symbols and underwater ceremonies, just adding to the mystery. What secrets had Cleopatra guarded so fiercely that they remained hidden even after her death? In a sealed chamber, the team discovered the skeleton of a small animal and a silver cup containing a liquid they planned to analyze later.
Every artifact pointed to advanced knowledge of chemistry, preservation, and, coded communication. We carefully opened this cedar wood box about 3 meters long and uncovered precision tools, specialized knives, bronze spectacles, tweezers, and spoons, each one engraved with microscopic symbols so tiny, honestly, you could barely see them in normal light.
One of the tweezers bore a strange emblem, combining the Eye of Horus with a Greek inscription meaning Mother of Night. In another hidden chamber, they found a falcon-shaped vessel containing cinnabar and unknown minerals never documented in any other Egyptian religious complex. Tiny gold statues didn't just show Osiris and Isis, but also lions, cats, and even tiny elephants, something extremely unusual for Egyptian tombs.
In a distant corner, we discovered perforated clay tablets, likely used for encrypting secret messages. There was a crystal disc sealed with quartz, hinting at ancient encryption techniques. One artifact showed Cleopatra on her throne, surrounded by African priestesses, suggesting she worked to unite different peoples through spiritual rituals. But, perhaps the most surprising find was a faded silver plate that, under shifting light, revealed microscopic engravings invisible to the naked eye.
Inside one of the linen-wrapped coffins, they found embroidered threads depicting stars and moon phases, adding to the growing list of puzzling discoveries. Tests showed the cloth had been soaked in rare oils and balms, once used only for royal garments. They also found a small twisted chain made of pure silver, hidden along the lining, engraved with the Greek word for light.
From the base of the sarcophagus, archaeologists extracted something extraordinary, a small ivory cylinder inlaid with turquoise and coral, containing a thin belt inscribed with symbols forming a necklace of classical and Hebrew buttons. Experts carefully untangled it and documented every tiny detail. The team also measured humidity and levels of decay.
Nearby, they discovered a rare collection of tiny statues, each made of precious metals, apparently imported from India, shaped like scorpions and small bulls. This strange variety puzzled the experts. On one of them, they found a microscopic Greek inscription mentioning something about Octavius, referencing a special feather.
Another artifact was a preserved phoenix inside a glass tube that gently glowed under UV light. We also came across a piece of fabric embroidered in bright red, depicting a radiant sun wrapped with snakes. In the same spot, we uncovered a tiny gold spring-shaped ornament with a small seal on a wire, engraved with a powerful inscription, possibly linked to one of Cleopatra's children. Nearby was a black rectangular bottle containing strange markings. Inside was something that looked like a star map marked southwest, coated with a type of waterproof paint, suggesting techniques never seen before.
Among the finds were simpler items too, combs, small mirrors and charms against the evil eye, but each carried unknown symbols, which the team carefully documented. None of these pieces have been displayed publicly yet, as they seem to have been meant only for Cleopatra's direct descendants. The question remained, why did Cleopatra gather artifacts from across the ancient world? The answers lay hidden in the inscriptions and secret compartments.
One inscription made it clear that this tomb referred to prophecies and specific secrets. In the center of the mysterious room, right in front of the sarcophagus, we found the first detailed engravings carved into the stone.
After thorough study, we realized it was a strange mix of Greek letters, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and even Latin. Among the carvings was an image of Cleopatra holding a pen, next to tiny portraits of her children, Helios, Ptolemy Philadelphus, and Cleopatra Selene. Their names were encoded with complex techniques.
The experts carefully removed thin layers of gold so they wouldn't damage any hidden writing. Under soot and faded ochre, hidden phrases emerged. It seemed these ancient texts were a personal message from Cleopatra herself. I am Cleopatra, queen of the two lands, daughter of Isis. I fiercely guard my legacy for whoever comes tomorrow to read these lines.
Within these writings, they found original seals of the queen herself, along with a nearly lost miniature scroll hidden in the wall, opened later in a specialized lab. This scroll contained secret coordinates of the Egyptian fleet, carefully encrypted using the names of Roman senators, and even included a diagram of how sacred power was distributed among Egypt's temples. These diagrams revealed hidden chambers that could only be found by a true heir, along with ancient encryption instructions to activate secret mechanisms inside the tomb.
Let my descendants know the hidden truth within these lines.
Some texts were written as poetic chants. Let my voice be heard among the stars.
Another inscription, written in 3 languages, appeared to be a private message to Cleopatra's high priest, her most trusted advisor.
In a dark corner of the site, they found a quartz tablet whose inscriptions only became readable under UV light, saying, "You shall not reveal my peace without the gods' permission."
Beneath it, they uncovered ritual recipes meant to keep the soul pure, including incense from the East and spices from Persia, similar to what Pliny once described, but richer in detail here.
On one of the coffins, we found an ivory plaque with the date of a specific eclipse believed to reveal the next chamber. Archaeologists used new techniques to understand how the stars were aligned 3 decades before, when the TMIC dynasty was about to vanish.
They concluded that Cleopatra had left hidden messages meant to be discovered centuries later when true knowledge returned. One of the most mysterious discoveries was a hidden cache under the base.
Inside, we found ancient Greek inscriptions saying, "No enemy shall enter unless blood and gold are spilled." We also found a small cup containing traces of red liquid and a golden scroll wrapped around it. These items were meant only for priests.
Some cards bore almost unbelievable microscopic symbols. In their structure, they even found lines reading, "May Isis, creator of life, bless me and remember the purity of my heart."
The purpose wasn't just to drain water from water, but to protect Cleopatra's memory through love and loyalty, not reconstruction.
Spectral analysis showed that the paint used contained unique metallic compounds. Even the seemingly demonic inscriptions revealed surprisingly personal notes. "My hopes lie in the hands of the children. My hands forgive their mistakes."
Such an intimate tone had never been seen before in royal texts, as if Cleopatra herself were speaking directly to future generations.
Elsewhere in the labyrinthine tomb, they found a manuscript folded like a lotus flower. Each petal held carefully grouped microscopic text.
The full transfer of Cleopatra's records was carefully encoded beneath layers of protection, leading directly to the sarcophagus itself. These things could only have belonged to the queen.
Further DNA and script analysis promised to reveal more about who wore Egypt's last crown.
In a highly protected lab, geneticists worked on removing the fragile remains. Their efforts were meticulous. Even after 2,000 years, the preservation was remarkable. Using specialized treatments, they rebuilt the sequences with stunning clarity, matching patterns usually found only in elite Hellenistic burials. No remains from Saqqara or Giza matched so closely.
It was clear this person belonged to a distinct, unmixed bloodline separate from ancient and Middle Kingdom Egyptian dynasties.
One of the most surprising results came from fabric tests on Cleopatra's royal garments. They still held cells that allowed a full genetic sequence. Chemical analysis revealed rare oils and resins from Turkey, proving the embalming included elements imported only for the elite. A stray fingernail found inside the wrappings revealed rare DNA sequences tied to Macedonians, still present today among Greek aristocrats. This shocked experts even more.
Tooth enamel tests showed metals matching ancient Alexandria's water sources, plus rare traces pointing to northern Lebanon's mountains. This suggested Cleopatra had spent time abroad, perhaps under diplomatic protection.
Some silver jewelry contained residues unique to Asia Minor. Tissue analysis revealed unique antigens linked to Hellenistic nobility. To everyone's surprise, proteins found matched those from Cleopatra's son, Alexander Helios, suggesting a direct blood link.
In the final stages, scientists used photon activation to reveal hidden fragments.
One object, a golden box, held enough DNA to reconstruct Cleopatra's profile with near-complete accuracy. AI matching tools confirmed a 99% match with Cleopatra's preserved sample in Egyptian museums. Independent teams from Oxford and Harvard also confirmed these results.
Finally, thank you all so much for listening and joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this story, please consider subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment. Don't forget to follow Secrets of the Ancients and stay tuned for more amazing discoveries in our